Hello, gear nerds of the fence. This is a quick and sloppy demo of the Wren Cuff Anna. I've recorded some recreations of just a few tracks, and I will briefly talk through all the settings used before each little snippet. But I just wanted to state right off the top that in the spirit of showing you what the pedal sounds like on its own, these tracks are all captured direct into Logic through a universal audio Volt interface without any post-processing of any kind. This is important to note because while I've gotten in the rough ballpark of these tones with just the pedal, running it through the right amp and EQing it just right is really what's going to get you all the way to the tones on the record. So if you hear these tracks and find yourself thinking, that's not quite right, there's a good chance that's going to be why. All right, let's get into these demos. Starting off with Heart Shot Kid Disaster, the intro is just the overdrive side of the pedal set to stock mode with the clipping on the SD1 setting, essentially what a stock SD1 should sound like. When the distorted guitars come in, I kick on the fuzz side with the fuzz set at 2 o'clock and tone at about 10 o'clock. I double track this with the tone rolled back to about 8 to get a thicker overall sound, but I drop that double tracking out when I get to the verse just to really showcase what the tone you can expect from this pedal sounds like. And all these parts are played on a Schecter Omen 6 through the bridge pickup. For Devil in Jersey City, I rolled the fuzz up to around 2 o'clock and brightened the tone up just slightly for Claudio's parts. And for Travis, I recorded just the overdrive side again, but this time flipped over to high gain mode and switched the clipping to LED clipping, and also rolled the tone up from 9 to 12 o'clock. I also switched over to a Les Paul for Travis's parts, and this particular Les Paul has Seymour Duncan Whole Lotta Humbuckers installed. Overall, I found that, as one would hope, this pedal nails the sound of Second Stage pretty well. It really doesn't take much twiddling at all to dial in the tones of any given song on that record, and it's definitely not limited to just Claudio's tone or even the tone of that record. It's much more versatile than I expected, and I can't really cover all that the Anna has to offer. But I did want to try to see if I could get close to the sound of a Keeping Secret, so up next is Cuts Marked in the March of Men. For this, I actually found that using just the overdrive side for Claudio's parts and the fuzz for Travis did the trick. I have the overdrive back to stock mode and clipping set to boost, and tone sitting at 12 o'clock. For the lead, I kicked on the fuzz and flipped over to the tone bypass mode, but I rolled the fuzz knob back to 9 o'clock. And finally, for my friend in the UK who just wanted to hear what the op amp fuzz sounded like, I'm going to be playing Quiet by the Smashing Pumpkins on a Fender Strat. I have the fuzz set to about 3 o'clock, the tone halfway between 11 and 12.